Ifeoma got married to Emeka's business partner. It was indeed a glorious and colorful wedding. Ngozi stood as Ifeoma's mother, while Obinna, who ought to stand as the father since he was the first son, decided Emeka should be the one because he was now their father. Emeka was touched by this humility of Obinna. He realized that himself and his wife had taught and brought them up the right way. He felt so proud of himself as the father. So Emeka and his wife stood as the parents of the bride. Obinna married a big fashion designer, and together they made magic. Their brand was known far and wide, while Uche engaged to a very beautiful teacher named Chizi. Ebele, Amaka, and Auntie Oma continued to wander from village to village until they finally settled in a faraway village called Oteku, where no one knew them, and decided to settle there. Oteku was a very peaceful and prosperous village. The land had not known war or any kind of trouble for several decades. Furthermore, the Oteku people were very hospitable. They welcomed Ebele, Amaka, and Auntie Oma. Ebele had lied that her husband's people lied against her, accusing her of killing her husband, and drove her out of her husband's house and village too. She lied that she was an orphan and didn't have anywhere to go. She told them she had suffered, wandering from one village to the other, and no one accepted them. Therefore, the people of Oteku gave Ebele, a friend and a daughter, a place to stay. They were also given a portion of land to start farming so they could take care of themselves. So they started farming and selling in the Oteku market. Everything seemed normal and okay. So far, no evil report from any of them. The villagers really liked them because they were all well-mannered. Some even gave them gifts out of pity. Meanwhile, Mama Chidi's burial was fixed. She died at a very good age. She died at the age of 100 years and was buried in a colorful way. She was buried beside her husband. Ngozi wept sore for her grandmother because she had grown fond of her. On the day of the burial, Ifeoma remembered her mother Ebele. When she saw the guests coming but didn't see her mom, then she remembered that her mom and sister had been banished from Umweke, never to set their feet there ever again. When Ngozi noticed the absence of Ifeoma, she went looking for her everywhere. She asked Ifeoma's husband if he had seen her, but he didn't know her whereabouts either. So they both kept searching. She finally saw her crying behind the house. "Sweet, why are you crying? What is the matter? We'll be looking for you everywhere," the husband said. But there was no response from Ifeoma. She kept crying. "Please talk to me," Ngozi insisted. Then she said, "It's nothing. It's just that I realized that my mom and sister won't be coming for the burial, or rather, they can never come to Umweke again. I know she's evil. She has done all manner of evil things, but she's still my mom, and Amaka is still my sister, and I miss them. I understand how you feel. We can't change our parents. No matter how evil they are still our parents. We have to accept them that way and move on with our lives. We don't choose our parents, okay? I know. So it's totally fine if you're feeling this way. You can go ahead and call her. I won't be offended. I totally understand, but be very careful." When Obinna and Uche heard that Ifeoma was crying because of her mom and sister, they felt it was unnecessary. They never remembered their mom. She had left them to rot in jail, so they didn't care if she was alive. As long as she was paying for her evil, they were okay. When Ifeoma called her mom, she picked up the phone and said hello. As soon as she realized it was Ifeoma, she yelled at her and called her an evil child. "It's your fault that we are in this condition. If you had listened to me, we wouldn't have ended this way. I will never forgive you. You chose that witch Ngozi over your own mother and sister. Mama, after everything you've been through, there's still no atom of change in you. Mama, change. It's for your own good. The stubborn fly that refuses to listen goes to the grave with the corpse. Mama, you have your chance now. Change before it's too late. Ifeoma change kill you there. What nonsense change are you talking about? Be this girl. Don't ever call me again your entire life. Don't call me again, you hear me? At least I tried my best, Ifoma said. I would have listened to Obinna and Uche when they said you will never change until you die. Get out, stupid children. And she dropped the call. 1 year later, Amaka started dating a young man named Bami from Oteku village. They were all over the village. They were truly in love with each other. But Ebele was an unrepentant soul. It looked like her heart was hardened the more. Instead of falling in love with the king or at least the prince and removing us from this mess, you are here patrolling the village with this village and bush boy who can't offer anything. Hey, mama. So after all these years and everything we've been through, you've still not learned anything at all. I would have listened to Ifoma when she told me about your evil behavior. My life has been ruined because of you. Mama, I'm afraid that you can still talk this way. Do you want to go to your grave with this attitude? Shut up your mouth before I shut it for you, Ebele said. What do you know? Stay here. You don't want to better your life. I'll figure out a way and go to the top myself, while you remain very low with your poor boyfriend. Auntie Oma said, Ebele, Amaka is right. We've been through a lot and you've not still learned your lessons. It's because of this evil attitude they left me. I've told them that I've changed and I've decided to be a better person. You know they call me often now. I've told them everything that we went through and what happened. And who knows, one day they might get me an apartment in the city. As long as I can have a small business, I'm okay. At least I can be selling food stuff. There's a lot of money in it, so I won't have to disturb them for my weekly or monthly upkeeps again. Even if I don't return to Umweke, I'm okay. As long as I get to see my children in the city. After all, none of my kids are living in Umweke. My husband is dead. They know I've suffered. They intentionally didn't take my course initially because they wanted me to learn. Now I've learned. So please, my friend, learn from our mistakes and what it has cost us. And give yourself a second chance. And be kind. Even if it's just a little, try and be kind. Start from there. Okay? But it looked like an effort in futility. Ebele never listened to Auntie Oma or Amaka, so she continued with her evil heart. They certainly don't know what they are saying. I'm talking about being an in-law to the king and you are here saying nonsense. I'll figure it out myself. As the saying goes, like attracts like. Ebele quickly attracted some evil friends like her. Before long, she knew an evil Baba just like Idoko, who was also banished from a neighboring village not very far from Oteku. Now the plan was to become the third wife of the king, who had already 2 wives. She wanted to marry him so she could eliminate the other 2 wives and become the queen. I'll remain royalty till I die. I will die with honor and dignity. When Ngozi and that stupid daughter of mine hears my name, I'll be referred to as the queen of Oteku. I'll make sure I love the prince and take care of him. So by the time he is crowned the king, he will take care of me and shower me with love as his mother. Until I die, I won't suffer again. Ebele was a very greedy woman who thought of herself alone. She didn't care if anyone got hurt. As long as it would make her happy, she went for it. With the help of one of those wicked women she met in Oteku, she met the Baba who gave her a substance to add into her body lotion and rub on her face. And as soon as she sees the king and he looks at her, he will helplessly fall for her. Ebele was super excited. I'll soon be queen. I'll soon be the queen of Oteku, mocking Amaka and Auntie Oma. Be there with your poor village rat of a boyfriend. Mama, you have big eyes and that's your problem. You always want what you can't get, and even if it means killing an innocent person to satisfy your lust, you will do it. You're so much intoxicated with power and wealth. I just regret listening to you all these years. This second chance that I've gotten, I won't let you destroy it for me. Bami and I love each other. You know he's a graduate and not just a village rat like you said. He's applying for jobs in the city. In fact, tomorrow he's going for an interview in the city. He will get a job, marry me, and will leave this village. Soon, Auntie Oma's children will take her to the city and you will remain here with your evil life. Ta, remain where? You're talking to the next queen of Oteku. Whatever you do, count us out. And if you do anything funny, I will expose you. You dare not. You know the kind of mother you have. Mama, I've told you my own. Mama, I know you too well. Before you will ruin my life again, I'll go and do the right thing. And what do you mean by the right thing? You better be careful, Ebele said. Amaka opened up to Bami and told him the truth. He was angry at her, but he realized she was no longer that person but had changed. And she was influenced by her mother, so they continued their relationship, hiding everything about them from Ebele. That night, Ebele woke up as instructed by the Baba by 12 a.m. to speak what she wanted into the substance before using it on her face to see the king in the morning. And so did she. She was instructed not to let anyone see her, else she will face the consequences. But while she was still speaking, Amaka woke up to his herself. She saw Auntie Oma sleeping, but her mom wasn't there. Where has this mischievous woman gone to? She asked herself. So she looked round the compound and found her holding a substance with her eyes open wide, talking. Hey, Mama, what are you doing? This woman has started again. Immediately, Ebele screamed, this evil child, you've killed me. She started crying. She fell on the ground and started speaking nonsense. Ebele went mad. Mama, I warned you, but you won't listen. Look at what you've done to yourself. Amaka quickly woke Auntie Oma up. She took a rope and they both tied her. By the dawn of the day, she gave up the ghost and died. Nobody knew what killed her, not even the woman that took her to the Baba, as Ebele went there on her own after that day, and she never disclosed it to anyone except the Baba. Her evil had caught up with her, so Ebele died unrepentant. Amaka was given a portion where strangers are buried to bury her mom. Amaka called Ifoma and told her everything that had happened. And also she told her about her relationship and how she had learnt from the mistakes that they've made in the past. And now she's a better person. I should have listened to you. I wish I had listened earlier. My life would have been better. After 6 months, Auntie Oma's children took her to the city, rented an apartment for her, and opened a foodstuff business for her. Amaka and Bami got married. He later got a job in the city with an apartment and an official car. So he and his wife relocated to the city. Emeka and Ngozi felt pity for Ebele, how her life had ended, but there was nothing they could do. She decided her fate already, as she refused to change, and so the evil of Ebele came to an end. Moral lessons. Greed destroys. Be satisfied with what you have bedtime. The desire for a little more and yet a little more of what you don't have and can't afford at the moment is lust, which grows into envy because you want what someone has and you can't afford it. At that moment, you become frustrated. In worst cases like that of Ebele, you can kill just to satisfy that lust. Be content with what you have.